Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cock Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic Tuesday, whatever you are around the world. I'd have to think about what day it was then, but how are we? Hopefully, everyone is all good and all well. And yeah, welcome back to another Liverpool news episode. We got a few bits of news tonight, of course. Obviously, some to do with Liverpool, some not to do with Liverpool. We will discuss all of the news in tonight's episode. Let me know your guys' thoughts as well in the comments as well. Your thoughts, your reactions to it, and all of that good stuff as well. Of course, we'll be discussing, of course, the Euro squads. Of course, England's did come out tonight, or today, I should say. Some surprises in there. Definitely some interesting players not a part of the squads that we will talk about in a moment as well. We're going to definitely talk about, of course, the selection in that suggestion. We're going to talk about Mo Salah as well, potentially being part of Egypt's Olympic squad, and what that could mean for Liverpool going into next season under Arne Slot. And, of course, we're going to discuss Johan Bakayoko, now the PSV right winger. Of course, we're going to discuss him being linked to Liverpool, and get your guys' thoughts on it overall as well. Again, let me know your guys' thoughts on that. Would you like him at Liverpool? Straight off the bat, do you know much about him? Again, I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below as well. But thank you, Luke, for commenting as well. Wales in the Euros, mate? No, we're not, unfortunately. But still, look. Again, I can support again whoever we want in the Euros. We could hope for France to beat England. That'll be the hopeful dream, of course. But yeah, no, sadly not. Again, Scotland are though, and to be fair, Scotland are going to get absolutely battered by Germany on the first day. Anyway, but we will dive straight into it then and discuss, of course, the Euro squads. Of course, England did come out earlier today. You guys can see that on screen right now, as you can see. But I thought I'd made that full screen. But yeah, that's the England squad if you can see it. Anyway, we'll quickly read through the squad. But as you can see, goalkeepers: Dean Henderson, Jordan Pickford, Aaron Ramsdale, and James Trafford. Defenders, of course, you've got Braithwaite, Lewis Dunk, Joe Gomez, Mark Guy, Konza, Maguire, of course, Jarell Konza in that as well. Which again, very, very good news for Liverpool. Luke Shaw, John Stones, Kieran Trippier, and Kyle Walker. Midfielders: Trent Alexander-Arnold, Conor Gallagher, Curtis Jones, Kobe Mainoo, Declan Rice, and Adam Wharton as well. And forwards, they've gone with Jude Bellingham, Jared Bowen, Eze, Foden, Jack Grealish, Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane, James Maddison, Cole Palmer, Bukayo Saka, Ivan Toney, and Ollie Watkins. That is the squad for of course, obviously, I will say this, it is the 33 squad at the moment. Of course, that will go down to 26 before the Euros do start again. And of course, there's 4 Liverpool names in that. Of course, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joe Gomez, Curtis Jones, and Jarell Konza. Now, of course, the biggest one, I think, out of all of them in terms of surprise is Jarell Konza. Him being included in the provisional squad is a great thing. Again, you think about 12 months ago, he was playing for Bristol Rovers, I should say. And again, the year he's had at Liverpool, again, the transition into being a very reliable player for Liverpool this season, again, is truly, truly great. And he does have a bright future. And I think a lot of people would agree that I think Konza and Braithwaite is England's centre back partnership maybe for the next 10 years, if things go right, of course. But one name I would have liked to have seen on there is Harvey Elliott. I do think Harvey did get a bit hard done by when you do look at those names in particular. I do look at the likes of James Maddison, for example, getting involved in the squad. Again, of course, this isn't the final England squad that's going to go to Germany, but again, I would have liked Harvey Elliott to be a part of that squad, because again, I think this season he's been one of Liverpool's best players, for sure. And I think, look, in the England team especially, I think he could have added a huge amount of quality to the England forward line and the midfield, of course, in that sense as well. But again, let me know. Everywhere they go, for God's sake. Thank you, Luke, for that. But no Scotland, no party. Doug saying, great to see Jarell Conser and Curtis Jones in there. I think Trent and Gomez go in the final squad, as Luke Shaw is likely to miss out. Yeah, I would agree with that. I also think Curtis Jones might stay, you know. I know that might be a bit of an unpopular opinion, but I think Curtis Jones will definitely stay in there. I don't know, again, who's gonna leave in that sense. I think both Curtis Jones, you know, if it was gonna be me, that would be, you know, picking the England team. I think Joe Gomez and Trent both start for England. I would say I think Trent should play alongside Declan Rice in a double pivot. Joe Gomez at left back, or even at centre back, for, you know, to partner John Stones. I think left back though is probably the way for it. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts on, again, that. I would say I would agree that Jarell Conser, I think, won't get in the final squad, which is a shame. But look, I think that just him getting called up is a massive step. And next season's going to be a big season for him. And Arne Slot as well. Again, he's probably saved Liverpool 50-60 million in getting a centre off. Liverpool could probably get away with signing just one now to replace Joel Matip. I know that, of course, you know, there's constant rumours of Liverpool looking for multiple centre offs this summer, but still, if Liverpool did get one really good centre off, and then, you know, we looked at you know, boosting other positions in the squad, again, having the back four of, you know, a new centre half, Van Dijk, Kanate, Konza, you know, you've got Joe Gomez in there as well, that could play there. Again, that's a very strong four, you know, for next season. And even with, you know, you could potentially play other players at centre half as well. Again, it's really good going in that sense as well. But let me know your guys' thoughts on the England squad as well. Of course, in terms of Euro squad as well, of course, Diogo Jota's got picked for Portugal as well. That's a good sign as well. Again, not really a shocker compared to Jarell Conser, but still, again, Jota being available for the Euros is a really good thing, in particular as well in terms of fitness. So again, really good moment there as well anyway. But I know this question would be asked as well. Thank you, Doug, for asking. What's your thoughts on Chelsea sacking Pochettino? If anyone hasn't seen, of course, Chelsea have sacked Pochettino. Again, joke of a football club. Don't get it. If I was a Chelsea fan, I know that, you know, certain fans this season have said they wanted Poch out this season, but I can't get it personally. Again, I think Pochettino's he's a good coach, but it just doesn't make sense. Like the people are getting linked to the job at the moment. I think, you know, the Ipswich manager, I think, is up there. That's been spoken about at the moment. Thomas Frank's another one. It just doesn't make sense for the, you know, for what's on the market. You know, you keep Pochettino surely, and of course the rumor is at the minute, from, you know, again, hearing from a couple of people, is that again he wanted a long-term contract and he wanted a say on terms of transfers. If that is true, then again, if you have faith in the manager, then why not, you know, give it to him? But, you know, these Chelsea owners, I think they are out of touch with reality in that sense as well. And again, I have no affection towards Chelsea at all. You know, again, what they've done over the last 2-3 years in terms of, again, the amount of money they've spent getting rid of managers, you know, week in, week out. You know, you look at the last couple of years, you know, as Lucas said, but there, you know, 7 managers in 8 years. That's horrific. You know, again, truly ridiculous. Chelsea have gone through 5 managers in the last 20 months. Yeah, like that's ridiculous. And I don't know whether or not if there is a compensation thing there with Pochettino. But again, if they were done with financial fair play before this, surely they've got to be on the edge now of going over. But we also, the Chelsea method has been, oh yeah, let's get rid of this guy, and then the next guy will come in and win a pile of trophies. And sure, it's worked for them under Abramovich and the success they did have. But lately, they have been an absolute mess. I know I was, speaking to the boys earlier. I think Chelsea will struggle next season. Again, they've got the players to do it, but this, from what they have achieved, especially in 2024, like I was saying it to somebody, like Chelsea have gone very much under the radar towards the back end of the season to manage to get to Europe. Because of course, I think if Man City win the FA Cup, then Chelsea get Europa League, and they've come out of nowhere with that. And the form that they have shown over the last 2-3 months of the season has been very, very good. But I just can't get it personally. I don't get why he's been sacked, if it is for that particular reason. But yeah, I just think it's a terrible sacking, I would say, to be fair. But they were supposed to sell players to raise funds, not sack the manager and pay him. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, do not take the job, Jurgen. Yeah, Jurgen's not going anywhere near that Chelsea job whatsoever. But again, though, let me know your guys' thoughts. Who you think, Doug and Luke as well. Let me know, or anyone else watching as well. Let me know who you guys think could take the Chelsea job at the minute. I see Thomas Tuchel. Could that be an option? Of course, he wants a high-end job in the Premier League. Could that be an option for him? I'm not so sure. Davy Moyes. It could be. I joke about that, but it could be. You do never know. Emma Hayes, Jesus Christ, Luke, what are you doing? Max Allegri. I don't know. Max Allegri would completely go against, what they currently got. But again, I would probably go with Connie, your favorite Pep. Pep Linders has a job, lads. He has a job with Salzburg. Don't need another one, especially at Chelsea anyway. But yeah, it's for God's sake, Yusuf and George was assistant team. To be fair, they could probably do a job, couldn't they? To be fair, like it's so stupid. And to be fair, look, I'm happy that them lot are having a terrible time, because again, what they have done over the last couple of years has been terrible in terms of football. But look, I don't get who they're going to get. But we'll just have to wait and see. Won't we, chat as well? But before, we're going to move on away from the Chelsea stuff anyway. I'm going to talk a little bit about this. Of course, Liverpool are on the hunt for a set-piece coach to join Arne Slot's coaching staff this summer. Of course, that's coming from David Lynch. Now, they did put a post on LinkedIn. If anyone wants to apply for the Liverpool set piece coach, you can do so now. But I did find that interesting. Of course, it's you look at teams. Of course, I think Everton have got a set piece coach. I think Arsenal, obviously, more in terms of top of the league, they have got a set piece coach, which again Sky Sports always love to show off whenever Arsenal score a corner or score a free kick as well. But again, it would go to show again Jurgen Klopp, Arne Slot's team behind the scenes is not yet complete in that sense as well. So again, obviously it will be something for the future to look at potentially, whether there is a set piece coach that Liverpool have in mind, just in case again they don't get anyone asking for the job. But yeah, I thought that was a bit interesting, because of course obviously I think it was a mixture between Pep Linders and the rest of the coaching staff, in terms of set piece takes as well. But again, we'll have to just wait and see, won't we, with that. What am I seeing in the chat? Just saying, I would love Emma Hayes to be I don't think is she going to be America's manager, isn't she? Chat. Yeah, I've seen that look, and then I've just seen your other one, Big Sam. Like, Jesus Christ, available. Could very well possibly be an option for Chelsea, but yeah, no. But it would be interesting to see and have a look anyway. But do you know what though? This whole summer though has been weird in terms of managers. You know, we needed one. Chelsea now need one. Juventus, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, for example. There's a lot of high-end teams looking for a manager this summer, and when you do look at the market, it's not great, is it? You look at Juventus. There's rumors saying that De Zerbi could go there. There's other rumors saying that it could, nobody wants Amorim by the looks of things, which is a pretty, bad look. But and that Portuguese fella as well tweeting out saying that. I've just read the comments. Sorry, guys. But for nobody to take Ruben Amorim as well, I think it's a real mad situation. The fact that everyone now is staying away from him. Of course, and we know Liverpool were never going in for Amorim overall, but Luke, I've just seen it. Like, we're not doing a Taylor Swift concert. Like, I've just seen Justin's comment about if not Emma Hayes, maybe Taylor Swift can work wonders. And then I've seen you going, shake it off. Well, can't know what a streamer. Lads, you wanted me to play a bloody sheep noise about 10 minutes ago. Like, now you want Taylor Swift. What are you doing, lads? For God's sake. But 1892 exactly, lol, as well. But that's just, even though I know you use a lot of joking, that's how ridiculous Chelsea have gotten with it. Because straight away, as soon as the Pochettino news happened, you hear about Manchester United. Thank you, Luke. But as soon as you hear the noise of him getting sacked, Manchester United outlets then are saying that he's favourite for the Manchester United job, and United would love to work with, or Ineos would love to have Pochettino as the Manchester United manager. And you do look at that Chelsea squad, and that Chelsea squad is good enough to be, top 6 contenders, pushing into top 4, and it is. But you also need experience with that squad, and at the minute they don't have that. The most experienced player that they have at the moment is currently going in the summer in terms of Thiago Silva, and having a new manager with new ideas probably will want new players as well. Again, Chelsea are a wreck, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this season how Chelsea took so long to change things. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the same. Anyway, Luke Littler, Tiger Woods. Really, guys? Really? Who are we going to give it to next? Are we going to give it to what's the Jurgen Klopp look like? Are we going to give it to him? Like, realistically, that might be it. Jeremy Clarkson, Jesus Christ. Give it to Daniel Craig. Give it to James Bond. It's the only one who convicts her. Set piece coach. I think we need to look at the model what Arsenal have done. To be fair, well, you do look at Arsenal. Again, I think they was the ones who scored the most set piece goals. And you look at Liverpool. Again, Liverpool have one of the best players who can deliver a ball in Trent Alexander-Arnold, also in Dominic Szoboszlai as well. There's also somebody there. Again, under the right person, under the right system. Again, Liverpool might score an extra 5-10 goals from set pieces. But again, we don't know that. But what is interesting, normally you would think, again, somebody like a Martin Odegaard would be taking Arsenal's corners. I think this season, I think Declan Rice has been taking them, which again I didn't expect that personally. But watching Arsenal on the last day again, you had Declan Rice taking corners, which I thought was a bit strange. But again, supposedly he's been taking them all season long. So again, that's something to look at potentially as well. But definitely something to look at Arsenal in that way as well. But moving on then, chat, we're going to talk about Mohamed Salah, of course, confirming on Instagram that he will be staying at Liverpool for next season. Again, obviously, we know things can change in the transfer window. But again, Mohamed Salah looks like he is here to stay. But in the summer, it could be a very long summer for Mo Salah. Now, this is from Paul Ghost saying that Egypt are expected to approach Liverpool over releasing Mohamed Salah for this year's Summer Olympics, meaning he could miss the preseason tour of the USA. So. Again, what does that mean? In that sense, again, look, Mo, if everything went correctly with the Olympics, if Egypt did go all the way to the final, won gold or silver, then Mo Salah would return back. I think it's 2 weeks before the season starts, which again is not great. But again, obviously Liverpool, from there as well, Egypt will be approaching Liverpool. Will Liverpool release Mo Salah for that? Again, I'm not so sure. Personally, it would be interesting to see. But again, we saw the last time Mo Salah left to go to Egypt, and of course came back a completely different player. Mo Salah, the Mo Salah we knew, stayed in Egypt. The Mo Salah that come back to Liverpool was injured and didn't perform well for the last part of the season. And would I release him personally with a new manager coming in? Of course, pre-season it's going to be chaotic, obviously with the Euros and the Copa America. Would I release Mo Salah for the Olympics? No, I personally wouldn't. If it was a personal thing for Mo, then again, that's a whole different conversation around it. Because again, Mo with the football club. If Jurgen was there, maybe there might be something there. But with a new manager, we don't know. Arne Slot may want to, all his players available from the first, day of training in pre-season. Of course, I think Liverpool come back. It's towards the back end of June, I think it is. I think it's the third week of June. Liverpool come back. So again, maybe he'll want his first team players there and ready to take part of it as well. But again, that'll be something for, of course, Arne Slot to work out with Mo. But if I was Liverpool, I would reject it because again, you look how Egypt have treated Liverpool in that sense, in terms of again making up conspiracies that Liverpool are keeping him injured and this, that, and the other when he's completely fit, when he's not. Look, he left Liverpool's squads, went to Egypt. Egypt reckoned he was fine, played in, reckoned he wasn't great. But yeah, no, look, it's something that I don't think Liverpool will do. Personally anyway, but as says Connor, we might need a strikers coach as well to help Nunes. That's something that could happen. I think obviously there's the story with Arne Slot and the striker from Feyenoord. He sent him the kickboxing lessons to I can't remember what it was to teach him, but it was something to do with that. But yeah, again, there might be different methods. Again, look, we've seen what Darwin Núñez has done under Jurgen Klopp, but for Arne Slot, supposedly, Darwin Núñez was the number one guy he wanted to work with to improve him. So again, next season, under a couple of weeks or a month with Slot, again, you don't know what Darwin can do. Maybe he might go on to score 30, 40 goals in the Prem. Who knows? We hope so. But that is payback for Egypt moaning from AFCON. Yeah, 100%. Commenting, hi, hopefully doing well, mate. Breaking news, here we go. Ricky spotted outside Stamford Bridge. He was buying some ham at the local Tesco. Thank you, Luke, for completely useless information. Yeah, to be fair, Ricky's gone to bed. Again, the man can't stay awake after 9 o'clock because he feels tired. But again, old man anyway. But again, don't tell him I said that anyway. But we're gonna get into the last story then, guys, of course, and that's discussing, of course, the PSV right winger. Some people may know him, some people may not know him. Of course, Johan Bakayoko. He's been linked to Liverpool in the past, and we all know that this guy, of course, Sancha, we all know him last season from the Romeo Lavia stuff, but he's gone on to say exclusive. Johan Bakayoko considered as one of the names on the table of Liverpool FC this summer. Bakayoko's name has been validated by Barry Hunter and Arnie Slot. Liverpool liked the player since March 2023. He does go on to also to say, in the Belgian Red Devils want in priority join a club which plays Champions League football. It's very likely that his transfer from PSV will happen after the Euros, as well as saying the transfer fee will be lower than 50 million euros at PSV's expectations. Now, again, do we believe this? I'm a bit on the fence. Obviously, it's certainly from last season, as well with the Romeo Lavia stuff. With Bakayoko, again, look, the player himself, of course, this season, he got 12 goals in the Eredivisie, getting 9 assists, which again is decent form, I would say. And in the Champions League, he got played 8, 1 goal, 1 assist, which again, not so great in that sense either. But I'll quickly get up his statistics as well on fbref.com. If anyone wants to go and check that out, then go and do so. But when you do actually look at his statistics, he's in the high 90s for a lot of things. If I can quickly get that up, there we go. So as you can see, but there again in the top 94 percentile, top 95 percentile, 91. Again, it's very high 90s in a lot of attacking metrics that he's a part of. Again, Eredivisie, so again, take that with a pinch of salt in that regard. But again, pass attempted in the top 87, pass completion 93% for a winger. That's pretty good. And again, progressive carries, successful take-ons. And again, progressive passes, you guys can see that as well. Of course, not the most offensive, but again, for attacking winger, again, you're not expecting that as well. And of course, those are the players that his data links mostly to. Again, obviously, Lozano, Somerville as well, who's been linked with Liverpool in the past. Di Maria, Bergwijn as well. For me, just judging off the eye with him, he does very much remind me of Jeremy Doku in that sense of, again, the playing style of him. It does very much on the eye. He looks rapid. Whether or not, again, we say that in terms of the Eredivisie. Look at, Cody Gakpo, for example, how, he doesn't been used in that sense. But for me, I do think Liverpool are interested in Bakayoko. That's been linked before by different journals as well, suggesting Liverpool are interested. But I do think he's definitely a bit down on Liverpool's list. I don't think he's the number one target for the summer, personally. I do think he is a part of the list that Liverpool are looking at, but I don't think he is the number one guy. Again, that's not me knowing anything. That's just, my thoughts on it. Is he a very talented player that can potentially take that next step up? Again, there's always the hope of that. But again, the thing for me is, again, he's going to be below 50 million euros, probably around 40 million. So around, 38 million pounds. Again, a very good player, but I do think that somebody like an Elise is there, and you could go and get for 60 million pounds. There's probably another 2 or 3 players that could be on the list for Liverpool that could, go on to reach, the same amount, probably for the same quality of player for the probably less price, or probably just a bit more. But Liverpool have a very an optimistic look at it in terms of, again, Mo Salah is going to be staying the left-hand side. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be leaving in terms of, a Gakpo or Lucho. Darwin's going to be staying. So Liverpool are looking to add to the attack. which again, as Sean has said by you, we can take 140 million and get players like Mohamed Kudus. He's definitely someone I think Liverpool would look at as well. I do agree with that. I think Kudus is definitely a guy that Liverpool do like, but again, you're not going to get him cheap out of West Ham. As you said, but it's time for us to cash in on Salah. The Saudis have billions of dollars, and Salah could get a pay rise, and Liverpool could get at least 140 million euros for the Saudis for Mo Salah. Time to sell. It doesn't look like he's going to go. Looks like the Saudis don't want him, if that's a thing, and it doesn't look like Mo Salah wants to go to Saudi either. It looks like he wants to stay. He wants to be a part of the new era of Liverpool, which is a good thing in that sense. I think for obviously for Mo and for Liverpool, obviously the big thing is the contract situation. We currently got that with Trent. We've got it with Virgil van Dijk as well, but Liverpool want to wrap up, I think, Trent's contract a lot quicker than the other two, sorry, because I think Liverpool are very much aware that there's a Real Madrid looking at Trent Alexander-Arnold, so Liverpool want to get that done. They want to get him done to a 5-year contract and get that done quick. But with Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah, even though they are priority for us, if we were to put them in order, I think it goes Trent, Van Dijk, then Salah. And I may be wrong with that, but that's just my opinion. But I do think it is. I think Mo Salah is at the bottom of that list in terms of who's the priority. Because if Liverpool got a replacement in this summer that could not do the job of Mo Salah, because again, Mo Salah gets you 30 goal involvements in a season, probably more than that as well. And Lig's put a good point, but we should go for Palmer. That's definitely a case that Liverpool could go to. You look at again the prices that we're speaking about. With Bakayoko, you're looking around 40 million. Kudus, you're looking at double that probably because it's West Ham. Probably even a bit more. Palmer, probably looking a bit extra, but you look at what he's done this season for Chelsea. Cole Palmer's literally got Chelsea European football by himself, and that's obviously a potential option. Look, I've said that on other people's stream. I think Manchester City will go back for him for Cole Palmer, and I think they will get him again. But Liverpool should be in that. If there's an opportunity to sign a well-established player in the Premier League, you should go out and do it. And Cole Palmer is that. Again, I don't think Chelsea would sell to Liverpool. I don't think they would, entertain the idea unless it was over 100 million plus. But Liverpool have done weirder things in the transfer window. Certainly, you look at last summer. You look at Moises Caicedo in that sense as well. But it could very much, it could work out something like that as well. Oh, Jesus Christ, hear me out. Could we develop someone like Madueke? No. The mentality on that lad is ridiculously bad. No. Player-wise, maybe, but never mentality-wise. That horrible player. Like you look at the whole penalty situation. Was that with Madueke? Was it? With Palmer? No. Like you could just imagine it. That's like if now Alexis McAllister and Mo Salah started arguing about who takes pens for Liverpool. It should be Alexis McAllister, but we all know it's Mo Salah. But there's no maturity with him, and again, that could develop under a good manager. But again, just attitude-wise, mentality-wise, I wouldn't like Madueke at all. But it's like Bakayoko. Look. I think he's very much under the radar. Of course, he almost joined Brentford last summer as well. That's something else I should mention. He did also join, or did almost join Brentford, I should say. But again, whether or not Liverpool might leave it, might let him go to join another club in the Premier League. That's another option there, to be fair. But I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool did, push for it, because we know Liverpool we like Eredivisie signings, and we know players around the 30 to 50 million pound mark. That's Liverpool's ballpark potentially as well. But again, there's another guy out there, Somerville as well. If Leeds don't come up, Liverpool might go for him in the summer. That could be another option. But I don't think we get multiple wingers this summer. That might even be next summer under Arne Slot. But I think for this year, I do think we do get a centre half, and I do think we get a right-sided winger as well, because we don't need a left-sided one at the moment. If you can get someone who can play on both, then that's great. But I just think at the moment you don't want a left-sided winger when you've got Luis Diaz, you've got Cody Gakpo, you've got Diogo Jota that can play there, Darwin Núñez that can also play there as well. There's definitely something that, again, there's options there for Liverpool to go on and do. But look, it's a wild market, because again, somebody could come available randomly. Like a Palmer, for example. Anyway, but what about George Allen as well? Superstar as well. But he had massive rumours, mate, that Liverpool are after a few wingers this summer. Somerville, Palmer, Mike Hunt, and possibly Leon Bailey. Jesus Christ, Luke. Next thing you're going to say, we're linked with Ryan Giggs. Next, Luke, anyway. But no, it is something that Liverpool will look to strengthen. Obviously, Mo Salah going could still be an option. Again, it's not only the Saudis looking at Mo Salah. I would definitely say there's PSG might even try and bid in for him if they don't get their targets. There's rumors about Luis Diaz to PSG that's been flying around for a couple of months. But Liverpool just can't stand still. If there's an option to get an absolute superstar in what Liverpool could do under Slot, then you go and get him. We made that mistake last season with not getting a world-class number 6, and that falls apart with that as well. In not getting a number 6 last season, Liverpool could have tried to get a Moises Caicedo a lot earlier. They could have definitely tried to get a Declan Rice a lot earlier as well. And if we had maybe done that, we might have got them. I don't think we would have got Declan Rice personally, but you never know. There might have been the option there. But Liverpool have to be on it, and they will be under the new regime with Edwards and co as well. Of course, the Euros won't help, but Liverpool will have everything set in place for when when it is available. As well, and I wouldn't be too surprised if there isn't a signing or two before the Euros or the Copa America for sure. But Pedro Neto, not for me, too injury prone. And Jarrod Bowen, I know people like Jarrod Bowen. For me, overpriced. Again, how much are West Ham going to be looking for him? What, hundreds? The maximum would be 100 million, surely. I'm not saying he's worth that, by the way. I don't think Jarrod Bowen's worth anywhere near that, even though he is a very, very good player. But he's going to be way too expensive for what Liverpool need as well. And Liverpool need a player that can develop over the next couple of years to be at that final step. You look at Jarrod Bowen. What is he? 28, 29? Is he 27? Somewhere around there. Again, we know Klopp wanted Bowen at one point. Whether or not that that would have happened if Jurgen was in charge a bit sooner, but in terms of the transfer situation. But again, Bowen's a really, really good player, but I just don't think he's worth the 80, 90 million quid. That's just me personally anyway. It's like Pedro Neto. I know that Manchester City again linked with him, and it looks like he'll be joining in next season. But I just don't. You said it today, Luke. Elise, I want Elise. Elise would be really, really good for Liverpool, and the new system that we're going to be playing as well. that's something that we know Liverpool will be going for. As well as as Justin said there as well, my biggest regret is the club not getting Paqueta before he joined West Ham. The one player I know for a fact Liverpool did want and didn't push the button for it was Bruno Guimaraes. Liverpool really wanted Guimaraes before he went to Newcastle. Like, Liverpool been scouting him for a while and didn't push the button on him. And then when Newcastle went in for him and it was too late to get him, then that's again, that's poor from Liverpool's transfer committee. Again, we praised Liverpool's transfer committee quite a lot because of the amount of good transfers that they've done, but also, like, again, the number 6 situation needs fixing still. The centre half market as well will be key for Liverpool, because Liverpool could go out to get the next best superstar in that sense as well. But will they? If it costs, if you have like a 19-year-old kid, for example, who everybody thinks is going to be the next Virgil van Dijk, for example, and you could get him for 60 million, but there's also that risk of unknown. Liverpool won't do that, and we need to maybe do that a bit more. Like, you hear stories of Liverpool wanting like an Enzo Fernandez, for example, at Boca Juniors. There's always the stories there of him. There's always the stories that Liverpool apparently looked at Valverde before Real Madrid went for him. We heard the rumors about Andre. He's kind of gone missing again. Of course, for Fluminense, that's another DM that Liverpool supposedly was meant to be getting and then didn't, or just didn't decide to move upon. As well, and that's something that, again, we need to Tchouaméni's another one that Liverpool looked at and didn't push for, and then when Madrid come in, it was too late to push and do things, and that's something that, again, we need to do a lot better on. If Liverpool have ideally identified a certain player to make this Liverpool squad and team a lot better. Like if Liverpool had Tchouaméni, Liverpool would, like, this season, for example, I'm pretty sure Liverpool would have been there until the end for the Premier League, and I truly believe that. And like, people will say, look, the goals, that is what cost Liverpool towards the end. In my opinion, no. What defines both Arsenal and Manchester City? A world-class number 6. They've got Rodri. They've got Declan Rice. I know Declan Rice moved more to an 8 towards the back end of the season, but for a long period of time, Declan Rice was playing as a 6. You've got world-class talent in the two squads, or two teams, I should say, in that area. Liverpool, we've had Alexis McAllister in a 6, which, again, is not his best position, but he's done a very good job there. And Wataru Endo, it's again, both of them have done really, really good, a good job. But if Liverpool had a prime Fabinho in this squad, Liverpool would have been challenging for the league title, I think, towards the end. I really think that, and we have to fix that and prioritize that. Because when Liverpool did have a world-class number 6, we were challenging for Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, like, year in, year out. That's what was happening. And that's what happens, needs to happen again. But 1892, now Slot will use a 10. That is true. Would you take Sven Botman? Sorry. Maybe. For the right price, sure. But yeah, Diamande would be one, again, really like the looks of him in the market as well. But yeah, big up Justin as well. Big up Tony saying a world-class number 10 would be great. Musiala, just putting it out there. But yeah, just heard a report that Arnie Slot's first task given him by John Henry is to tie down long-term contracts to Doreen and Margaret in the kitchen. The pasta needs some extra cheese next season. Thank you, Luke, for that comment. We should get Edison from Atalanta as a DM. Fab Regen. I've seen him now and again. I think a lot of people on FM have looked at him as well. But yeah, certainly one up there. You know, again, I said it last summer. I would love to try and test PSG's resilience against Manuel Ugarte. Let him go for 50 million, 40 million would be really, really good. Liverpool could do that as well. But look, the DM market is a very hard market to get right. And you do look at it, and it is a very, very difficult market. Again, last summer you had DMs going for 70, 80 million pounds, which they would have realistically been they would have realistically been what, around 20, 30 million pounds minimum. And that's something that needs to be worked upon. But for Liverpool, again, because if there is a Moises Caicedo or or Lavia or somebody like that, the next up and coming thing, if they're available, Liverpool have to get on it. Because look, City've got a world class DM, Arsenal got a world class DM, Madrid have got one as well. The top teams have a world class DM. You look at Liverpool, you look at Barcelona at the moment. Neither club have a world-class DM. Of course, we'll still be looking in Europe, but Liverpool and certainly in the Premier League at the top end, again, they need to fix that. And again, I'm not saying get rid of Wataru Endo, because I think Endo has been really, really good for Liverpool, but there's always an option there to keep him around. Again, if you could get another 6, work with him, and don't burn out a Fabinho, for example, where you could rotate between a new number 6, a Stefan Bajcetic, and a Wataru Endo. That would be perfect for this Liverpool squad. But again, that's just my thoughts on it anyway. But I'm off to bed, mate. Speak to you later, lad. Good stream tonight as well. Thank you, Luke, for popping in as well. I need to come down soon for a weekend. I need to as well. Hopefully we can do that really, really soon. Honestly, I'll give him time to win the Premier League title next season. What you think about that? Again, my expectations, again, I've already said it yesterday, top 4 for me. Would love if Liverpool could challenge from day one, but again, give him time. The second season, then slot to win everything. Why not? Anyway, but I am going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Anyway, big thank you to all of you for popping in as well. Of course, we've spoken about the call-ups for England and obviously the Euros as well. We've talked a little bit about that. We're also spoken about Mo Salah going to potentially going to the Olympics and what does that mean for Liverpool. And we've also spoken about Johan Bakayoko as well. Looks a really exciting player on the eye. Again, data looks good as well, but whether or not Liverpool will actually go for him in the summer be very, very interesting indeed as well. But tomorrow's show, unless it's anything news related, probably we do Premier League show tomorrow. We'll talk about the whole league in itself. We may talk more about the Pochettino stuff as well, get more people on, hopefully try and get their thoughts as well in the comments and your guys' reaction to it as well. But of course, obviously let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments if anyone's watching the repeat as well, because I know fair old people do watch it on the repeat as well, so please let me know your guys' thoughts as well. If you're watching live as well, leave a comment as well, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff as well, guys, and share the channel as well, because again, we're going to be live throughout the summer talking about transfers, talking about news, everything to do with Liverpool Football Club as well. Anyway, but until next time, guys, that's going to be it from me. I've been calling out from the Cop Council. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ta-ra.